Good day, YouTube. Alduin back for another video here for the Pagan Perspective. This week's topic covers ethics. We have kind of touched ethics quite a bit here on the channel, but there seems to be a combination of many different angles on this particular topic today. And my views on this has changed over the years. If you watch me here on the Pagan Perspective, I originally joined this great group as a Wiccan, and then shortly thereafter, or I want to say within the years that came, I mentioned that I would suspend the Wiccan Reed, which is the kind of a statement of ethics that some Wiccans follow. And I said I would suspend it if I felt like I was personally attacked, and that's one of the questions that you'll see down below. A series of people ask questions wanting to know, is it okay to cast a spell on somebody who is harming someone with magic, or harming other people, or harming themselves? And again, I said I would rescind the reed to protect the ones that I love, and then fall back underneath that before. And I do feel that there are people who would say, well, then you're not Wiccan if you don't follow the reed. I mean, there's so many different opinions on this, and everybody's opinion matters. I do want to make that very clear that we all walk our own paths. We're all here do our particular work to learn things, to become better. I do value everyone's opinion, whether or not you agree with me or not. If you saw my last video here on the Pagan Perspective, I talked about in length my view on Stoicism and the principles that kind of guide a Stoic in moving forward in today's world and dealing with people who aren't the best, people who I would consider bad people. Now, that being said, Marcus Aurelius, he had war. So even, one of the most well-known and well-studied Stoics, and literally an emperor that was considered the last of the great emperors, began war. He had harmed people because they didn't work with him. Where his Stoicism paid off is when that person has a relationship with you. Marcus Aurelius had a general who worked with him for many years. They conquered and owned territories with might, with power. They didn't really. This was war. This was war people. Like they when somebody needed to be moved out of the way because they didn't agree, diplomacy had failed. Out came the weapons. Out came the gladiuses. Out came the swords. So when it comes to war, there's only so much ethics you can have, because you don't want to be seen as the one that will fold under pressure, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, it depends, because just because someone looks at you wrong, just because someone scrapes your car by accident, that doesn't mean that you go to war. I want to be clear. War is different. War is if someone has it out for you, they want to harm you, they want to harm your family, they don't care about you. One thing Marcus Aurelius did when his general went against him, that's why I brought it up. His general went against him. They had a formal relationship, a friendship. They, like I said, they had conquered and maintained the empire. He offered him amnesty and the men that went against him. So just to put this into perspective, to kind of drill down what I'm talking about, Marcus Aurelius, his general, tried to take over Rome from him. Literally, like it was a legitimate coup. He turned the Egyptian territories against Marcus. In that same area, it was several different legions that had turned against Marcus, but most of the empire was still under control of Marcus, and he literally put out a letter of forgiveness. He figures because what his general did is his general said that his general put out a letter saying that Marcus was dead and that he is now the emperor, when he kind of knew that Marcus was not dead. So again, Marcus forgave his close friend, again this person that he had a relationship with, and forgave all the men that were under the power of Marcus. Now, when you think about that, that was very smart when you know the outcome. That general ended up getting beheaded, not at Marcus Aurelius's wishes, but because they realized, because the men that were working for that general realized that the only thing keeping them safe from being safe was the general that was under Marcus Aurelius, who was trying to be the new emperor. So even though he showed forgiveness to this close person because they had a relationship, it ended up working out in Marcus's favor. What I'm trying to say here is that don't go to war over something small. It needs to be something horrible to actually put that much energy and life force into it. I've seen things where people get offended and they send some of the most vile energies. They make some of the craziest pacts with some of the darkest entities just because they felt like, how dare this person do this to me? They don't realize what that's going to do to them, especially if you believe in reincarnation, especially if you believe in the afterlife. When you make these deals, it doesn't just stop with the flesh body that you see here. You're going to have to deal with that in the astral. Those things that you make connections with, those energies that you send, they may just well find you when you leave your flesh body. In fact, they very well may be waiting for you. I'll give you a prime example. If any of you folks are of a certain age, or you have an affinity for old movies, everyone knows that old Patrick Swayze movie where they're doing the pottery and he's on the other side, so he's dead, but there's a medium who's played by Whoopi Goldberg, and they work together. Well, if you've seen that movie, at the end, the guy who was also on the other side, who was the antagonist, dark creatures from the spirit world carried his soul off into the underworld. And that to me has always been a warning. Be careful what you work with. Be careful the energies that you send. And in Stoicism, they do remind us to be careful that we don't want to damage our character. Our character is supposed to be the most important thing about our being when we make a decision on how to react to the world. In Stoicism, we are reminded that we control our reactions to events. Don't let the events control you. So, for example, if you're a magical person, if you're pretty powerful, if you work with different entities and spirits and things, and someone wrongs you in a petty way, say someone cuts you off in traffic, why are you trying to curse somebody, literally send a curse and hurt that person's life, hurt their money, hurt their family over being cut off in traffic? In Stoicism, that would be seen by a Stoic as harming your own character far more than what the perpetrator could have hurt you. So now you've lowered yourself and you've literally come out of the transaction, because that's really what it is. The person offended you, and now you want to harm them physically, harm them spiritually, harm them financially. And now you're the goon now. Now you're the person that is the big bully who wants to see who has more power. If you understand what I'm saying, that's the way I view this question now, is that I have to be very careful about how I react to things. If it's not a life-threatening thing, then no, I will not respond with magic. However, if I feel that the person's intentions were very, very crude, and that they wish me death, they wish me extreme discomfort to the point of like hurting my family, to me that is a warlike response, and I feel that I would definitely respond in kind. I feel like Stoicism allows me to do that, but I have to be careful about petty things. I have to be careful about small spells. I have to be careful about, if someone sends a weak thought form and they don't really know what they're doing, like that could just be their subconscious lashing out due to being jealous or due to being upset. I can't respond with a warlike thing. So I hope that makes sense, guys. I know this video is kind of a lot longer than what I would normally do, but I feel like there's so many different questions and so many different angles down below. And then given my earlier video from the week before last, I kind of need to kind of explain how it mashes with Stoicism and how I would respond when I feel like I've been wronged. And to me, it's only in times of war where I will allow myself to do something that will harm someone. Intent is very important. I think it's important to know, whatever divination processes that you go through, just to find out what their intent was. If their intent was to kill you, it's war. It's wartime, right? If their intent was to just to let out some frustration because they've been frustrated at work, maybe they're sexually frustrated, they're not getting enough cookie at home or whatever it may be, and they decide that they want to send something your way without thinking, without proper thought, that's kind of excusable. I mean, we all do it. We all kind of get agitated in our head when we get cut off in traffic. Someone cuts you off in line. Someone looks at you a weird way. Yeah, you get upset, but don't go to war with someone over something like that. You go to war over things of life-threatening issues. That is my opinion, and that's how I want to answer this question. A great batch of questions, guys. I mean, keep them coming. This is why we're here. And you know what? I want to know what you guys think. Are you someone that just goes to war because someone stepped on your new pair of shoes? Are you someone that goes to war because someone bumped your door with theirs intentionally? Because that's happened to me. Someone's intentionally bumped my door. Do you go to war with that guy, that girl? Do you get mad because someone has the same bag that you have, or someone has the same garment that you have? Do you get mad because someone stole the content of your YouTube video? Did you go to war for that? I want to know. Put it down below. What do you guys use for coping with anger? What, do you meditate? What do you do? That could help someone who needs to see that on this video. Go ahead and put that down below. And I will see you guys next week back here on the Pagan Perspective. Thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.